it's me again. Are you ready for another bedtime story? Well, let's begin. This is a story about someone trying to become a better person. Here is a carnival in the summertime of any year, and lights and people and joyful screaming. Look at the sturgeon moon stamped onto the black sky. Now, if you will, walk out of the crowd and into the darker part of the carnival. You can come back later. After a silent walk along slick, dark grass, yes, I know, a carnival in the dark, you are too bound by habit. Have a little imagination. Anyway, after your walk, here's a single booth. Here is a man in a dark suit, standing in his single booth, and he had a lamp head stuck to the walls, eyes crusted with blood, definitely alive once and definitely not now. Now we have the pieces. Watch. Here's a young woman, young by her own standards anyway, with dark hair and blue silk scarf. Watch her steps, focused and measured. Here is the wet grass of the carnival field, and the man's raised head and small, ugly smile as he approaches the booth with practiced shyness. It's 25 tokens to try, he says quietly. Here comes her note. 25 tokens to try. They are as old as time. Here is the purse and the plastic coins and the hands briefly touching. No, not like that. She's married and he's not that kind of man. And here's the dagger, silver and angry. See how the woman looks at the knife, like it could kill itself without her intervention. Remember that this is a story about someone trying to become a better person, if you can. Now, if you will, watch the man as he turns into the darkness of the booth. He's walking out of his polished black shoes to the backyard. It's quieter back here, away from the noise of the carnival. There's a reason he chose to put his stand a little ways away. This needs silence. He comes to a stop in front of the tall wooden fence. See, and I'm sorry about this, see the agitated lamps behind the backer rails. He's picking one of them up at random. He's a businessman, not a monster. He doesn't care which one dies. The lamb, of course, is bleating and kicking and screaming, and the woman is waiting patiently outside, and the man is walking steadfastly back to the booth as the lamb screams for its mother, the fence. See her fingers run over the hilt of the dagger. Watch as she bites her lip. She has a question. Is it very painful? A pause. Remember what this story is about. Always remember. Watch as the man puffs his chest as he answers. No. As long as you do it well. He means to encourage her to hit the heart. Many other patrons hit the stomach, and you know how that goes. I will, she says. Pay attention now. She's tensing her arm and clenching her jaw. He's doing the same. Who is more frightened? Well, anyway, an adult sheep is tied up 100 yards away, straining at her rope. Look at her panic, not a slaughterhouse panic, but a motherly one. He closes his eyes and she studies something snake-like. He closes his eyes. He lets go of the lamp. Here, watch. The lamb is running across the fairground, and her mother is bleating in joy, and the lamb's dark animal eyes are shining and catching the light of the stars. This is deeply joyful, but you want to see the woman and the knife and the man. I know. Well, fine. Here she is, throwing the dagger, something in her face dying, and she lets go of the hilt with a practiced flick of her wrist. Here is the dagger spinning out, and here is the lamb stumbling on its long lamb legs, almost to its big sheep mother, who will keep it warm forever. She misses. The knife hits the ground, piercing the soil. The woman's hair looks a little less dark as she retrieves it and throws it again at the hesitant lamb. Daggers are faster than carnival-dwelling lambs, so watch if you can, as the blade slices through the air for a second time. The lamb keeps its little lamb face on its mother's soft sheep body. The dark-haired woman averts her eyes and swallows down something dark before it can reach her lips or the cool night air. But wait, she begins to shout in confusion and anger, but the lamb's white wool remains unstained with blood, so what can be the reason? Well, you were watching the lamb and the knife and the woman, and you have forgotten to watch the man, haven't you? Here he is, running as the woman shouts angrily. Here is the man running across the sleek grass, trying to catch the knife as it draws closer to the inside, the coffins of the lamb's chest. Here is the look of terror on his face, of regret and speed, and trying to make up for it all. Here is the knife and the man and the knife, and the woman and the lamb, and the knife and the knight, and the fairy wheels, and the birth, and the mother sheep straining at her rope. Here is the man and the woman colding, and he uses his man body to stop her from taking up the dagger for a third time, and here she is, understandably shocked. After all, he did say 25 tokens to try, and she'd paid 25 tokens, so what's this? Here is a hand grazing dagger hilt and woman falling silent. Men, as a rule, can't run faster than daggers and more than lambskin, and this particular man can't run faster than dark-haired woman with blue scarves, so here is the dagger thrown for the third time as the lamb stands by his mother. Nobody can quite believe what happened. Then, here is screaming lamb and the agitated, silent mother stomping under wet carnival grass. Here is a lamb that isn't screaming anymore, but, oh, a man that is. Watch him as he falls to his knees in his expensive carnival suit, wailing to nothing, kneeling outside his out-of-the-way booth. The woman's lips form a thin line as she stands up. He is screaming and crying, and the lamb is twitching, and the knife is completely silent in a rather self-satisfied way. What the hell was that? He won't stop yelling and kissing the lamb's face and grabbing its hooves and holding his hand on his bleeding stomach. He won't stop shouting thick apologies to the silent sheep standing over him. Just watch for a second. Don't forget who opened the booth. He stops screaming and grabs at the mother's sheep wool. Silence. The woman with dark hair and the blue scarf can't decide whether to stay or go. She's young enough to stay. Have you noticed the man's eyes? He doesn't have spectacles, by the way. They're big and brown and dark. And so are the mother's sheep. He takes a dagger from the lamb's stomach, which makes its body shiver. Here are two pair of eyes, He is one set of hoovers and one set of man-hands. He's a thud of impact. He's a perfectly placed wound. Here is a puncturing vein and sheep's eyes dying, and second scream, third scream, fourth scream, because now the woman is screaming. She should have been old enough to leave. The man recovers quicker this time. Watch. Now both a mother and her daughter are dead, not just one. The thing seemed more in balance. He stands up and brushes the carnival dew off his carnival suit. You can take them both if you'd like. The woman is shocked. Watch her face in the moonlight. She's older than she'll tell you. Blame society if you'd like, but then she's not that old. But I didn't want to do that, she says. She did. The sheep told you I was trying to do better. You remember the point of all of this, haven't you? The dark-haired woman purses her lips. You probably shouldn't run this stand then. He wasn't expecting this. He drops his voice. I know, Actually, I will take both the lamb and the sheep, please. He falls silent. I'm under no obligation to be better myself, she says. It will be 10 extra. Seriously? No. Thank God, he nods. I can bank them out myself, says the woman. She's not really asking, but she's not really telling. I don't know. You decide. You remember it's not terribly important. He nods and they walk over to the booth together, both trying very hard not to look back at the two white bodies lying in the grass that is rapidly becoming crusted, not dripping with blood. Do you mind if I leave you to it? He says eventually. Not at all. There is a plastic bag in the cupboard under the cash register. Don't take any money. This man is remarkably tactless. Don't be ridiculous. Well, they're my wages. Don't leave me alone with your cash register then. He's a woman with a point. He's a man averting his eyes as she walks behind the booth. I am leaving now, he says, darkly serious. He looks at her with deep distrust. The woman remembers her mother, and she also remembers the open but uneaten bag of granola she has left at home, which is going to go stale if she doesn't do something with it. Maybe trail mix or cookies or just breakfast. Okay, I'll get the bags, then I'll leave you too. She knows he wants to hear, she understands. It helps with trusting someone. You understand? He is a man passing the bodies of a mother and a daughter and trying not to slip on the wet grass. He is a man walking towards the light of the carnival and getting on Fairy's wheel and watching a woman as she does exactly as promised. She's quick and neat back in the sheep. Her blue scarf blows in the wind. Her skin is golden in the infant sunrise. He feels nothing. He is a man who's thinking about sailing to France, and the sheep in the fields of old England, and not working in a carnival for the rest of his life. Here's a story about someone trying to become a better person. Well, I think that story was a little bit disturbing, a little bit strange. What did you think?